The Eurovision Song Contest is getting closer and closer, and the winner is yet to be decided. And you may wonder, who is the favorite to win in the bookies? Well, Ukraine. Ukraine? Can they actually really win? And what would happen if they won? And what happens if Ukraine actually wins Eurovision this year? And I have to be frank, guys, at first I didn't know whether to talk about the Ukrainian representatives this year because of the delicate situation in Ukraine. But I have talked about Sweden, the Netherlands, United Kingdom, Poland in Eurovision. Why not Ukraine? Should I avoid the topic? And they are precisely the ones that need the most visibility at the moment. So I know it's too trivial a topic for the current situation, but I thought it was timely to give visibility to this year's Ukrainian representatives. And you may be asking yourself, when did Ukraine have even time to think of something like Eurovision? The fact is, however, that Ukraine already chose the songs way before the Russian invasion. And I could be using more subtle terms such as conflict or events, but I'm gonna call it by its name, Russian invasion. As hard as it seems, let's talk about music. Who are the Ukrainian representatives this year? What kind of music do they make? Can they actually really win? And what would happen if they eventually win Eurovision? Okay, well, the name is Kalush Orchestra. And a little bit about the history. Behind the puzzling name of the band's founder, Cursed Son, that's his pseudonym, Cursed Son. Behind this shocking stage name shyly hides Oleg Shuk. And in 2019, he and Ihor Didenchuk, an instrumentalist, and DJ McKilliman decided to create a band. And what name should we give the band? Oleg, where are you from? What? What is the name of your village? Kalush. So that's what we're gonna call the band, okay? Come on, pass me another beer. And so they released a music video for the first song, mayinui. And if you wanna see what Kalush, the village, looks like, the video for the song was filmed in the streets of Kalush. What better place? But they were still independent without a record company. And in 2019 they released another video for the song Ty honysh. But they were still Kalush. Where is the orchestra in here? Well, they decided to embark in another artistic mess. To sound more Ukrainian, to sound more folky. So they teamed up with multi-instrumentalists Timofey Muzyczuk and Vitaly Dużyk. Sorry for butchering Ukrainian language. Again, guys. So yeah, they wanted to give their music this touch of Ukrainian music, traditional music. And why did they decide that they wanted to compete in Eurovision? Well, because in 2021, Ukraine was extremely successful in Eurovision, being clear and direct. With the band Goa, they finished second in the televote in Rotterdam last year, with a mix of traditional Ukrainian music and electronic music. It was a crazy song and people couldn't resist voting en masse for this. But the jury vote lowered the score and they ended up in 4th position. So then Kalush Orchestra decides to perform at Vidbir, where Ukraine chooses the representative. And they give it all in this national final with the song Stefania, described by media as a folk rap madhouse in your living room. This song, Stefania, is an ode to Oleg's mother. And they give it all on stage. Hey, we're gonna rock, we're gonna win! Well, they end up in 2nd position. Because actually this national final is won by another artist, Alina Pash. And from then on, chaos ensued. However, after some controversies with the singer that I won't mention here because I don't want my video blocked, Alina decides to withdraw. She won't go to Eurovision. So finally, Kalush Orchestra are offered to go to the song contest. However, right after that, the worst happened.
Сядем разом на мосту і побазарим зараз. Тут хай старі рани заростуть.
All of a sudden they find themselves in the middle of an invasion, and it wasn't known whether the band was being able to perform or not. Well, at the beginning they considered using the national final performance, as it wasn't known whether the band could attend in person in Italy in May. Some people are of the opinion that Ukraine shouldn't be thinking about Eurovision right now and they should just withdraw. But other people see it as an opportunity to give visibility to Ukraine and the situation they are, to feel Europe's support, even if it's through such a trivial event such as Eurovision.
Fajna, як музика грає, я розпишу трамвай, ти як.
In fact, if we move backwards in history, we can see some precedents. The Bosnian representatives in 1993 in Eurovision. The band Fazla had to escape from the country in the middle of the Bosnian War in order to perform at Eurovision. They had to cross the border through the mountains in order to perform in Ireland. But going back to Kalush, a few days ago it was announced that Kalush have been given a special permission to travel to Turin next month to represent Ukraine. So luckily they will be able to participate with the same technical means as the other countries. At the moment in the bookies they are in the first place to win the festival. Do you guys think that the bettors are getting carried away by the empathy of the extremely serious situation they are living through right now? Or do you think they are gonna blow away the Eurovision anyway? And what if they were to win the festival? Ukraine is clearly not in the position to organize an event of such magnitude as they did in 2005 or 2017. However, if it were to happen, next year's event would be probably organized by the runner-up of this year's competition, or the Netherlands, which has done it several times already. It would be Ukraine's third victory already. So what do you think about Stefania? Do you like it? My opinion, I prefer other songs anyway. Do you guys think Ukraine will win as the betting predictions suggest? So let's wait for May. Hey, and what about Sweden? Can Sweden win again? Well, I made a short video talking about Cornelia. Watch it, watch it, watch it, watch it.